You sound like a whore. Hello and welcome
to Twitch and Stitch.
We're excited to see you today and talk with you.
It's been a while, yeah. It's been a month. How fast did that fly, hey?
It's been so fast.
So many things have happened, and most of what's been going on is we haven't been here.
No,
like
it's been crazy.
Gone. So every weekend, so on our normal recording day, nobody's been
here to record.
Yeah.
And then over Thanksgiving we had people over, and so that didn't work either.
Yeah, because it was
crazy
Thanksgiving.
Company.
Yeah. So who are you?
I know the answer to this question every single time. My name's Priscilla, otherwise known as Scylla. I'm Scylla on Instagram, SCILLA__P. I am now on Ravelry. On Ravelry, I'm known as Pudscilla.
Yeah.
PUDSCILLA. And that's where you can find me.
Yay.
And Marsha, who are you?
Yeah, I am Marsha, but I'm also known as Very Little on Ravelry and Instagram. And now Very Little is also on Twitter and Periscope. I've done a couple Periscopes, which is just like a live video social media site. And
that's really cool.
It's fun because you get to interact with people right away. But you don't have control over who's, well, I guess you could block them as you're going, but no, I'm ill, so my brain is not thinking properly, but no, because I asked everybody what they were doing on one of mine, and somebody gave a response that was not at all appropriate. I was like, I'm just gonna ignore that one. But yeah, but I think there's a way to do that, but you have to be fast on your feet, I feel like. But I've watched a couple other people's Periscopes. I really enjoy Susan B. Anderson's. They're pretty good. But yeah, I'm not on there all the time, and I've only put out 2. One was about a week ago, but okay, so we're a knitting podcast. And we're knitting currently.
Yeah, so if you've tuned in by mistake, enjoy the show.
What are you working on, Syl?
I am working on my blanket of forever.
Excellent.
So I've now switched back to blue. I feel like the neighbor of Home Improvement. Wilson, thank you. Yeah, so I've switched back into the blue and brown.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do I'm not sure if I'm gonna do 1 or 2 skeins of blue and brown and then switch back to brown. I'm looking at the skeins I have in my blanket of forever. Seems to be going on forever. And so I might just do I don't know. I don't really know where I'm at this point. But this is where I am. I'm on blue, and I have quite a bit of blue left. So I have time to decide where I'm gonna go next after this one. And that's it. That's all I'm working on right now. Marsha! What are you working on?
Oh, I'm working on so many things. I'm working on a pair of socks. And I'm just going to finish my row here. Almost. Okay. I got this yarn. It's really, really fun yarn, actually. And so I'm knitting some socks. They're toe up.
It is fun.
And I learned how to design socks for my own feet. I usually do my own pattern anyway, but these this yarn is so much fun, and it is
where'd you get that
Perfect
yarn?
Sock self-striping yarn, and it's from Mustache Yarns. So Stacy of Mustache Yarns, and it's self-striping, but it's also one of her OCD skeins. So
OCD skein?
yeah, but it's not separated into two. It's just one skein, but once you hit the middle point, then you can cast on, and the socks will be exactly the same.
Does it have a marker for the middle?
Well, I think so. I'm not there yet.
Oh.
But I assume there's some sort of thing that gives you an idea that it's the middle, but it's an OCD skein, so I'm pretty excited about that.
I love that. I think all knitting should be symmetrical.
And you know what? Because it's self-striping, I feel like it goes so much quicker, because, you know, I'm like, oh, I just want to get to the next color. Oh, I just want to get to the next color. So it goes fairly quickly. This isn't the thing that I've been knitting on all of the time.
She's been working on that sock for a month.
No, it hasn't been a month.
No, I was kidding.
Oh.
Like, this entire time, that's it. That's all Marsha's done.
Yeah, that's it. No.
Anyone who's tuned in before knows that can't be true.
Yeah. No, I started it at a course. Was that last weekend already?
It was the weekend before last, because last weekend was Easter.
Yeah. And
Or not Easter.
Thanksgiving. So the weekend before. So this, oh yes, this is my Pride and Prejudice. I haven't ripped that out yet. I pulled that out because I need to rip it out. It's going to be frogged. And this, it's always a surprise as to
What's in your project bag?
what's in your project bag, because I've got all of them lined up here and I have no idea. So this is my Okanagan Orchard. This is my own design, and it's actually for sale. And I got a fair bit of knitting done on this in the last little bit, just because it is a simple knit. Like, once you're in a section, that's what you're doing, and it's such a simple knit. So I could sit and knit it while I was chatting with people while I was away, and I could knit it in the car, and it was awesome. It's it's really intuitive. Once you know what you're doing in a section, that's what you're doing. So, and it's for sale on Ravelry, and the Canadian dollar is so poor right now.
That it's a steal.
Everything's on sale, right? Like, oh, I bumped the table. Sorry about
the Canadian dollar sale.
Yeah, the Canadian dollar is doing so poorly right now. If you're from the UK and you buy my pattern, it's half price. Like, I'll give you that deal right now. Like,
and if you're from the States, it's a third off.
Yeah, exactly. So instead of $6, it's like $4 something. If you're from the States, if you're from the UK, it's like, what would it be? £3. Like, it's half off.
Half off.
Yeah. But I've been really enjoying this, and it actually, like, it was really nice to get working on it again, because I do enjoy it, and it's coming along really well. And I got a couple rows done on the brownstone I'm working on, but I won't show that because it's still, it is what it is. I'm in knitting in circles hell right now. And also, I've been working on, this is my new design, and it's called a schmancy because it's fancy schmancy.
Fancy schmancy, yes.
And I'm working on the small size right now, and I'm working on this size because I started off with a large, and I've knit the large, and I'm wearing it, and I'll show you in a little bit. But I wanted to see the small size, so I have 3 sizes for the shawl, and there's a small, medium, and large, and I wanted to knit up the small, and I'm actually knitting it in opal self-striping yarn, and it's Imagine Tomorrow's World colors. So the body is actually knit. I have 2 skeins, and the body is knit in this one that has no sparkle, and the edging is knit in this one with sparkle.
I love it. Sparkly.
So I used about half of the skein for the body part because the edging's an applied edging. So I used half a skein for the body part, and the edging should probably take almost half a skein. The edging is so long, but it knits up really beautifully. And I wanted to see what it does in a self-striping. I wanted to see what it did in a solid, and I'll show you the solid in a little bit. And I'm also going to re-knit it as well with a different colored edging, because I want to see what it does with all of the different options you have for it, because it's an applied edging. So your edging can be any color, or it can even be a different weight.
I love the edging. I think it's gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's lace. And this is not, I don't think this is a beginner pattern. One of my poor test knitters, she's fairly new. She'd never done an applied edging before, and I really tried to walk her through it. But yeah, I'm sorry, it's not simple. It's a more advanced pattern, and
it's gorgeous when it works up. But
and for me, like, I understand what the yarn is doing and what the stitches are doing, and I can read my knitting before I knew that was a thing. So sometimes it doesn't really hit me that other people don't necessarily think the same way I do.
She wanted me to test knit.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's like, but you have me here. I can walk you through it. Like, I don't think I'm quite ready for my lace pattern to be.
Yeah, the main part of it is super easy. And then, yeah, it's just a matter of maintaining your stitch count and trusting the pattern, I feel like. But I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And it blocks out so nicely. And that, I think, is all that I'm working on right now. And you're on your blanket of forever.
Well, my blanket of forever, which I showed you, which is probably going to go on forever. But because it's a blanket of forever, I don't feel, I'm not monogamous to it. So me and my blanket, we've had some time off.
And I mentioned previously that we are going to do what are you working on for a viewer. And we just wanted to take a minute right now and ask,
what are you working on?
Pearls and Lace. She is Pearls and Lace on Instagram. And I met her at Knit City 2015.
Da, da, da.
A couple weeks ago, and she was behind me in line at one of the at Caterpillar Green, and we chatted a bit, and
you want to talk a little bit about what Knit City is?
Instagrammed at each other for a little bit. So that brings us into what Knit City is. It's a yarn festival that is in Vancouver, BC, and it's a massive event. It's the first time I've ever been to Knit City, and I loved it, and I booked myself into all the classes. I met Claire Parks, and I met the yarn harlot, Kate Atherley, and I took 2 classes with her, and I took sock knitting, custom sock knitting class, and I also took Next Steps in Lace. I was nervous about Next Steps in Lace because my first lace course I took last year, and that's when I learned how to do lace edging at a different retreat. And so I was kind of nervous about the next steps in lace, but it turns out I know a lot more than I actually knew I knew. So that was good. And the sock knitting was really good because I learned so much about how to measure your feet, why you need to measure your feet, and where you need to measure on your feet, and how to count your stitches and how stitches to cast on. And so it was very good information. A lot of the things I was doing already kind of intuitively. One of the things she talked about was ladders in your knitting when you knit on 4 double pointed needles. And she said that sometimes people get where they try to knit tighter, and that actually increases the problem of developing ladders. I don't have ladders on this one. Not really. There's a little bit of one. She said that some people, when they start developing a ladder, they start tightening that first stitch each time.
Really?
And that's the problem. That's
because I did that.
It causes more ladders doing that. She said try to tighten the second stitch in. So that was good information. I was talking with somebody before class about ladders, and I said, you know, one thing that I've done is I've taken one of the ladders and twisted it and then knit each stitch all the way up and then knit it in. And that gets rid of the ladder, just adds a stitch, and then you just knit two together, whatever, to drop it, to get rid of it. And then you get rid of your ladder. And Kate Atherley said that that's something that she has done as well in some of her.
Do you know what I do when I get laddering?
What?
I move a couple of stitches over, and then I'll knit up for a little bit, and then I'll move back. So I never actually have the same amount of stitches on each needle, so that I'm not always going up at the same spot.
Oh, okay. That's a good point too.
But if you're counting, right, and you know that I've got 30 stitches here, 30 stitches there, 30 stitches there, it becomes a little more challenging because you have to end up counting a lot more often if you're changing a pattern. Yeah. But if it's just straight knit.
And she also suggested as well using smaller stitch markers instead of big ones, because that's more yarn for the thing to have to pass by. But that was very interesting. I really enjoyed that. I did get some stash from Knit City.
Oh, stash.
But, excuse me, I did a quick Periscope regarding it, and I will bring some those things that I got as I work on them. I'll show them. Yeah. So, but Scylla, you have a finished object.
I do have a finished object. And so this is really exciting. And Marcia and I will talk a little more about this together. But my finished object is a hat. And this hat, I know it's super fancy, is my own design. And as you can see, it has about a 3-inch rib and then a straighten it up. And then a very special twisted cast off. And by twisted, I'm just making words up. And yeah, and so it's a hat. I haven't blocked it or weaved it on any man's yet. Kind of wears like this or like that. So I designed it to be a little bit swooshy, flooshy at the back.
Slouchy.
Slouchy, thank you. That's what I was looking for. Slouchy. And the yarn that I worked with was an absolute dream. It was unbelievably amazing. It was Ancient Arts yarn, nature-inspired glorious colors. And the color I used is Arctic Midnight. So this is what it looks like in the skein. And you'll notice that I didn't even, like, it worked up so nicely and I didn't get pooling, and just a lovely, lovely hat. And it's a lovely yarn to work with. It is 70% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, and 10% nylon. And it's DK weight. And this skein specifically comes in 205 meters or 225 yards and 100 grams or 3.5 ounces. And the gauge is 21 to 24 or 4 inches, which is 10 centimeters.
Stitches to 4 inches.
Oh, that's what that means. And so it's a US 5 to 7 or a 4 to 4.5 millimeter needle. And I used a 4-point needle on this one, 4 millimeter. And I loved working with it. It's so soft, and it just made me happy. And I knit this toque in about a week and a half because I couldn't put it down. I literally couldn't put it down.
Yeah, it's so nice.
And it is a beautiful. I just want you to touch it, but you can't.
It's a made in Canada yarn. They're from Alberta, from Calgary. And they sent us some yarn to try out, and they actually sent us a couple skeins to give away. And I'm actually, this is one of my works in progress, but I wanted to wait and show you. It is, I'm designing a hat for this yarn, and it's still in the being designed stage. I have the pattern written out. I'm just knitting it now. This yarn is so nice to work with. It's a DK weight, so it's lighter, but it's really pleasant.
Pleasant, I know.
Right? It makes a beautiful hat. It would make a beautiful cowl. And I'm knitting mine in the really seriously annoyed grapes. I met them.
Did you say really seriously annoyed grapes?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And they were one of the main booths and supporters of Knit City 2015. And so I went over and I introduced myself to them and met them, and they're so nice, and so many colors. Their website is ancientartsfiber.com, and I went in and I looked at their website, and it's very Very user-friendly. They have so many different colors to choose from. And one of the things that I really, really like is they have 2 lines of yarn. This yarn,
I love that yarn. That color's beautiful.
It's from their cat line. So they have cat and a dog line. And this is the Maine Coon Callie. And they actually use the, a portion of the proceeds goes to, will be donated to help benefit stray and abandoned cats for this one. And then there's one for dogs as well. So it's part of the proceeds go in supporting, you know, animals that are neglected or abused or abandoned. And I really appreciate that. Like our dog's a rescue dog, and so that's like totally near and dear to my heart.
I should knit my bunny a cat outfit.
Oh my god.
I should totally knit him a Mancoon outfit and a sweater and little Mancoon ears.
I wouldn't knit it out of this yarn. This yarn is too nice for a rabbit.
He deserves the best.
No, it's too nice for a rabbit. It's such a...
You know, I'll use any excuse to knit with that yarn.
It's
really
so
like it.
decadent. It's just... Yeah. The cashmere, and it just gives it...
A magic feel.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I'm definitely going to be using it again. I got a couple skeins of yarn at their booth, and I'll show them to you on another episode as they're knitted up. But they also have yarn that you can do intentional pooling with. And intentional pooling is making the pools do the striping for you, which was really cool to see. And so I got a skein that I can intentional pool with, and I've never done that technique before, so I'm really excited to look at it. But they have a pattern for it's like a lace scarf with the intentional pooling, which I thought was really pretty.
That's really cool.
Yeah, our finished object for me is this one, and I've been working on this since you last saw me. It is my new design.
It's gorgeous. You can really see the lace work with this.
Schmancy. Yes, because it's fancy schmancy. And it is a shawl. It is worked flat. There's no hidden agenda here. It's lace work. Here, I'll see if I can show you. This is an applied edging, and it is so much fun to knit, and it's so pretty. And I knit this. What did I knit this in, Scylla?
Something really pretty. It's a nice green.
The Alegria Manos del Uruguay. And it took almost 2 skeins. This is the other half of my second skein. And I knit the body, and then I knit up to, where is it? Here. That's where I got to on the lace out of the first skein. So the body and up to there. And then this is the second skein all the way around. And that was like 3/4 of the skein. So it has a high yardage for the edging, and it will eat up more yarn than you think it will.
So if you're doing an attempt to plan to have 2 skeins?
Well, if you're doing the large, definitely be planning for 2 skeins. The medium as well, I'd plan for 2 skeins. The small, the small should be about 1 skein or just over, depending on the yardage that you're working with. Some skeins will have enough, some will not. So I have the yardage all mapped out in the pattern. So it's, but I was so happy when I got this done. I sat and I played with it in the mirror for forever. So
yeah, it's nice. Really wonderful. I love the lace work. It just, every time I look at it, I'm like, this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And the yarn you chose for it, I think, was perfect.
Yeah, so the pattern is up for sale on Ravelry. I just put it up before we started recording. It's a $5.99 Canadian. So again, it's on sale.
Yeah, half price in Europe.
Half price in Europe. Yeah, and we had Thanksgiving in there.
We did have Thanksgiving was busy. Yeah, so there was Knit City, there was Thanksgiving, I was in Victoria.
Silhouette.
Oh, for a job interview.
Yeah.
the thing we were talking about before, and it turned I will not be moving, so we don't have to worry about how we're going to manage the future. So this should be able to continue.
Hooray. There was a lot of dancing and a lot of joyous outbursts. My girls could not stop smiling.
They're
true.
Like,
"Aw, poor Andy."
Yeah, and that's what it was. Like, aw, and then they're like, really? And there's dancing and laughing and smiling. Yeah, it was ridiculous, but it was followed all around. Because I wasn't disappointed either. I was relieved. So it's a good.
It's good.
So Marcia had a birthday, and I don't. For those of you who've been watching, I don't keep a stash. I buy for projects, and then I knit my one project, and then move on to another project, and I buy the yarn for it, and then I knit that. But something happened. Marcia had a birthday, and so I'm birthday shopping for her, and it turned out to be 2 for me, 1 for her. 2 for me, 1 for her. And so I'm going to show you my stash. So if you need to get up and get a drink, now is the time, because this is going to take a few minutes. All right. Yep, that's my stash. So I'm going to back up a little bit so I don't bump the table. So I bought myself some new cable needles, because I bought some plastic ones and they were just okay. And these ones seem like they're going to be magical. They are Knitter's Pride. I've never knitted with them before, so we'll see how it goes, because I love cabling. Okay, so for our double knit along, which I want to tell you right now, I had the best intentions, but it was an epic fail. I bought yarn for it. So I was going to do fingerless gloves, so I'm still going to try and get them done before Christmas. So I bought 4 skeins of yarn. It's Merino Extra Fine 170, made by... Is that German?
Yeah. Schachenmeyer.
Schachenmeyer.
I could be saying that totally wrong.
It's a Schachenmeyer original since
I don't even know if that's German.
It's beautiful, nice soft yarn in very nice solid colors. So I think that's going to work out well together. I also was looking for a color for an edging for Marcia, and I couldn't find one, but I bought myself some Malabrigo, because I love Malabrigo.
Edging for what?
I was trying to, when I was shopping for yarn, I realized I didn't have the right weight. I was looking for the right weight and the right color, but I couldn't find any.
Okay.
But I bought myself something pretty.
I see.
So it's Malabrigo, and it's a blue. It is Royos Pure Merino Superwash. I have a lot to show you, so I'm not going to tell you all the weights and all the little details. But you can message me on Ravelry if you want to know, if there's anything you want to know about. I have 2 of these. It's a Peruvian Quick Highland wool. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's chunky and it would make a pretty nice scarf.
Yeah, this would be like a super bulky.
I know, I can't wait.
Or bulky.
I had a friend who just had a baby boy named Anakin, and he's adorable. And so I'm going to knit him a blanket out of red, and this is Baby Alpaca. It's a Diamond Luxury Collection Baby Alpaca Sport.
What's the other one?
The other one?
Peruvian Quick. Oh, it's
Peruvian
Highland
Quick.
wool.
Yeah.
I see.
So this one's, although they look a lot alike, they feel very different. This is very soft. This is a little bit not as soft.
It's still soft.
It's still soft, but it's not as soft. And so I decided I was also going to knit myself either a cowl and a hat with what was left. So I bought myself these 2 skeins. They're Heritage Silk Paints, hand painted, 85% merino wool with 15% mulberry silk. And I had the best intentions. One thing that I often forget to do is check colorway. So they even have different labels to tell people like me that they're not the same. But I missed it. So I'm not sure how I'm going to work them out now, but they're really pretty and I love the pattern.
Yeah.
So.
Super pretty.
Yeah, that's right, friends. There's more.
But wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more.
Oh, that one's pretty.
I know, and they're super soft.
That's not what I was talking about, but those are pretty too.
Well, that one will come out in a minute. I love that one. So this is Pacu Pura, and it's pure premium alpaca, and it's Miracle. That's the label for it. And I think this is also a DK weight. Look at that. I'm getting good at identifying weights by touching it. It does not say what weight it is. It tells me to use 3.25 needles. So based on your expertise, you can probably determine the weight. So I have those 2. And I really liked it, so I got it in purple as well. And look at that pile, it's getting huge. And the last one, which is the one Marsha was saying, ooh, I love that, is this one here. So it's handmade in fine yarn, and it's 81% merino, 9% cashmere, and 10% nylon. So it will work up to be machine washable. It's hand dyed in Canada, and the color is Cezanne. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, I apologize. But it's absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to see what it turns out to be. And then I have one more skein of yarn that I've kept separate because I love it, and I wanted to make sure that I showed it separate. My lovely, wonderful sister brought me back something beautiful from Knit City. She brought me a Caterpillar Greens yarn in blue, merino twist fingering, classic striping, 80% superwash merino wool, and 20% nylon. So there it is. So
with classic striping, it's like regular size stripes the whole way through. But one thing that the Caterpillar Green yarns does have is shawl striping. So what it does is it means that as you knit the shawl, the stripes actually will stay the same width. So they worked it out. So it's like for the beginning, it's less of one color, but it'll give you a stripe that big. And then the next one will be that big, but it's actually dyed so that there's more yarn for each section to be.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So
that's really awesome.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
And so that officially is my stash. I have one. I love it. I'm very excited for it. And who needs to work on a thesis when you have this much yarn? So glad my advisor doesn't watch our podcast.
That's quite the bag of stuff.
Right? Mustache fits neatly into a bag. And I know that doesn't seem like a lot to a lot of experienced knitters, but when you go from zero stash to a bag of stash, it's huge.
Yeah, it is.
My visa told me so too.
I bet it did. It's crying in pain. So
no, it's laughing in joy.
It was my birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thanks. And my lovely sister got me a gift every day for almost the past week leading up to my birthday. So I'm just gonna share that stash with you today. I don't know where to begin. Let's start at the bright pink. So she got me some lace merino DK, and it's 100 grams, 275 meters, and it's 100% superwash merino wool, and it's DK weight. So that's a beautiful pink, and that's coming
So
true.
pretty.
It's really soft, actually. It's very soft. This one is lace merino worsted, extra fine, so this is a worsted weight. So there's 210 meters on here, 229 yards, and that's fairly true to color. It's actually a little bit more,
A little paler.
yeah, a little, yeah, more purpley pink than what it's showing up there.
Yeah. It's interesting because I buy yarn based on touch, so it's all pretty soft. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah. So this is Madeline Tosh, Tosh Merino Light in the Magic colorway, and there's pink and black and gray and green and blue and like a brownish color in there and a little bit of like a white. It's really pretty, and I can't wait to see how that. It's a single ply. So it's going to be something that I want to make into something that isn't going to get a whole lot of wear or friction. So like maybe a cowl would probably be okay. Maybe a shawl. A hat would get less wear because I have tons of hats. So, but I don't know if I'd want to knit that into a hat. I'd probably want to do something drapey and flowy. And here's some Madeline Tosh Chunky in the tart colorway, which is super pretty, and this is plied, so so this won't have the issues with pilling that the other one will, but I really like it. And that's coming true to color, I feel like.
Yeah, it is.
And I really like how there's like black in behind the red, so that like I feel like this would make cables really pop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that would be really good with cable work. And then she got me this, and it is Prisma, custom dyed yarns by Prisma, and it's Merino Mia, 100% merino wool in the midnight colorway, and it's black and purple and like a little bit of a blue purple and a magenta-y purple, and it's really pretty and soft, and it's got a good twist on it. I feel like that would be really nice in cables too, but we'll see. I've never knit with it before. And Scylla got this for my dad to give to me.
Oh, come on, that one is from Dad.
And it's called Logwood, and it's Tosh vintage, and it's 100% superwash wool, and it's purple and pretty, and it's got the same kind of black in the background, so it gives a nice nice line where the shadow occurs, so that would give some really nice stitch definition. I feel like my phone is just going crazy over here, sorry about that. And Scylla also got me this pretty yarn bowl.
I love the yarn bowl.
She went shopping at the Art of Yarn and had her way there, so I'm really excited about it. I've used it once, but I'm going to be using it more definitely.
Definitely. But what about the other thing, Mar?
What other thing?
So as a joke too, I got her this bottle of this stuff, and it's called Poopery. And if you're interested, you should Google the ad for it. But it's
on YouTube.
On YouTube, it's hilarious. It's a spray before you go, and nobody can tell.
Yeah,
but it's funny.
Awesome.
It's funny.
Super funny. So yeah, so we have a few draws.
That was a little too expressive.
Yeah.
It's my excited face.
So we have a couple draws from our knit along from last month. We did a double knit along, and
September seems to be a busy month for a lot of people.
Yeah,
kids going back to school and summer ending, and
so the prize for that knit along is Kay Verge has so graciously offered to give any one of her patterns. She actually has the Knit Pug podcast, and if you're looking for another podcast to watch, definitely check her out. She used to be on the Two Tangle Skeins podcast, and she now has her own, but she's offered one of her her pattern designs. It's not just a color work one. She's got some other ones out there, so it's your choice what you would like. And I will get a hold of her and let her know who the winner is, and then you can contact her and let her know which pattern you would like. We've already done the draws for all of our draws ahead of time. So the winner for the pattern for the double knit along was number 2, and that is Tesla, who is Lori. Yay.
Congratulations.
So yeah, you can get a hold, let her know, and I will get a hold of her as well, and between all of us we will get you together and you can choose your pattern. I also did a draw on I also did a thing on Instagram. I put a picture up and I said, hey, we were almost at 900 subscribers on YouTube. Tell a friend, come back here and put a smiley face, and you're entered to win something. So we are doing that draw right now, and what you're going to win is this yarn.
Meow.
So the Ancient Arts yarn in Maine Coon Cali, and it's so pretty.
Oh wait, Mancoons are more like meow.
Yeah, that's what they are.
They've got deeper voices.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the draw.
Okay,
segue.
So I went in and I looked at all of the numbers, and I did a draw, and the person who won is it was number 31, and her lost 22, GEHIRNLOS 22, who's Karen. Congratulations,
Congratulations, Karen. You can say Karen.
Yes, I need you to contact me and I will mail this out to you directly and get it off to you as soon as we can. We also have a 300 member giveaway.
Yay!
All of the giveaways today
Giveaway day.
for having 300 members in our group, but we are at 323 members in our group, and the winner for that, taken out of all of our members, so you didn't have to do anything, you just have to be a member to be entered, was
J.K. Kelsey, otherwise known as Julie. So it was number 126.
So that is J.A. Kelsey, who is Julie.
So congratulations, Julie.
Yay! And so we are going to give you a beautiful skein of yarn that matches Scylla's hat.
Yay! You too could have one of these. And if you want, I will send you the pattern, Julie. If you want to knit exactly what I knit. But chances are you could just intuitively knit yourself a hat and it would probably look better. Or the same. The one trick I did though, instead of knitting up here, is I purled. Right? It's a big trick.
You're
and then
hilarious.
I probably turned it inside out, so
Yeah.
you can't really tell.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. You totally did.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So is there anything else? I feel like we're missing something.
We decided not to do a psychology with Scylla this episode. We figured we had a lot to show you and a lot going on.
Yeah.
And also with Marsha's ill health, we want to give her a break. She's probably going to take a nap after this.
It's true. It's true.
Feel a little bit better. I don't know if we've missed anything. I think we've covered it.
Oh, yeah. I think that's everything.
It's always wonderful spending time with
It
you.
wasn't as wacky as we usually are, but we love you anyway.
We do. And I have a stash to knit on, so that's exciting.
Yeah. And, oh, yes, we are missing something.
What are we missing?
We are doing an opal knit along, hence
Oh,
why I'm
that's
knitting
right.
the shawl out of opal yarn.
Out of opal yarn.
So the opal knit along is knit anything in opal yarn because opal is the birthstone of October. And that's my birth month, so I thought opal would be great celebration. So knit anything you want in opal yarn. Can be a shawl, can be a hat, can be socks, can be a blanket, or can be even knitting on your scrap blanket. Just show me the opal. And you can enter.
Show me the opal!
And
Show me the money.
that one, yeah. The opal yarn knit along is going to go to the end of November. Because the November thing is just catching up on knitting and stuff, so it's not really a knit along for then. But and also feel free to go into the group and post photos of what you're working on. And
Yeah.
I apologize that I'm not more full of energy.
I think you're doing awesome.
I slept all day yesterday and the day before, so. But we just really felt like we needed to get something out because it's been a month and we've been super busy, and that's probably why I got sick, because I haven't had any downtime. So,
and with our work schedules together, we have a 1 day window a week.
Yeah.
And if we don't make our 1 day window, it's the next week.
Yeah.
So
thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time.
Until next time.